Welcome back to the Schwab Network, broadcasting live from Philadelphia, where the Schwab Impact Conference is in day 2, full of advisors trying to navigate a higher for longer environment. Joining me, the head of advisor services at Charles Schwab, I guess the man behind the event, Bernie Clark. Great to see you again, Bernie.
Great to see you, and great to be here in Philadelphia.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for having us here. What's the big kind of talk of the town this year versus when we spoke last year at this event?
It's a different year. You know that well.
Yeah.
We talk about it all the time, and advisors are those guides within these difficult markets. They actually do quite well when things turn difficult because their clients need that kind of help, that assurity, really the reinforcement that comes along with it. But we've also seen the landscape change around investing an awful lot, right?
Absolutely.
Higher for longer. You started the segment by saying that. It changes how people will think about their portfolios. It reintroduces, to some degree, I think you might agree, the portfolio is a bigger part of the conversation, whereas for many, many years it was a little bit quiet, right?
Absolutely. Used to be just pile into as many stocks as you can, basically.
Yeah.
Or just buy an index and let it go. And then last year we were talking about how fast the Fed had hiked and was in the process of hiking. Now a lot of folks think they're done, but the changes that they've made look somewhat permanent. And so I guess there would be some changes on the advisor side that might be semi-permanent as well.
Unprecedented hiking, as you're well aware of. It's changed the landscape. It's changed both the asset and the liability side of the balance sheet as you start to think about lending and mortgages and people's lives and next generations that are coming along. And so advisors are sitting back again, and they do what they do. They're replanning for their clients, they're rethinking for their clients, and they're building the wisdom in of this could be a more permanent change, regardless of rate. As you said, there's been a lot of changes in policy.
Yes. Also changes structurally within Schwab's offerings too, with the full integration of TD Ameritrade. What's that conversation looking like? I mean, at this point, now that everything is pretty much done, but still there were some changes folks kind of had to get used to.
I am so pleased to be on this side of actually what we called client day one, of bringing the two broker-dealers for advisors together. From day one, you and I were chatting about this, from day one, we've brought our advisors together and thought of them as a single unit, but technically that wasn't true, right? There were still two broker-dealers, there were different technologies, and now we're navigating. And we went through a process I'm quite proud of, where we looked at the absolute best technologies, the most sustainable technologies, the ones that we saw had the best life going forward, and we chose the best. We looked at the best people from both organizations, and we chose the best, and the best processes, obviously, and we chose the best. And so now we're sitting on a platform. I kid you not, and it is, I want to acknowledge, it is a lot of change for people, and change is hard. As I sometimes say, change is good once it becomes the norm.
Yeah.
But it's clearly not the norm yet, so we've got to keep working on that change. But we're on the launching pad of a platform that has the two most competitive platforms for advisors that competed against each other for years, and we've got all that capability now on a single platform.
Should advisors expect anything more in terms of bumps in the road or major changes, or do you feel like if there's a percentage we could assign of that whole process, done versus still in progress, where is maybe that percentage at?
What I want them to understand is if they keep talking to us about the really difficult places they are, or the policy differences and the changes in perhaps a VEO versus an SAC, which are the two platforms, that those changes, even at this conference, we've announced upgrades from September. And we'll announce upgrades when December comes, and we're going to continue to address where they tell us the hottest points are.
Okay, so there still is a feedback mechanism happening.
Absolutely. I implore advisors, just call me. Send me an email, talk to your people. We want to get to the place where everybody's feeling comfortable with what we've created. And I don't necessarily believe the survivor of this is one platform or the other, because we're actually in the process of building something new for the future entirely.
Do you feel that there is enough to embolden the smaller advisor who maybe when the two platforms were divided, the companies were divided, you might be a bigger fish in a smaller pond, or that relative size of fish to pond certainly has changed? But I would imagine there is still plenty of tools to be accessed for those to grow and not feel like they're getting crowded out.
I'm not a believer that size dictates complexity, because I see too many firms of different sizes that do and don't have complexity. But I would highlight to you that 80% of our clients, this is just a number, I don't think this is small, but 80% of our clients have under 300 million on our platform. We better make sure the tools are there, as you're describing, and that we're serving them really well. We want to be there for the whole spectrum of advisors. The one thing I always stress is this is half of Charles Schwab's assets.
Yes.
a third of their revenues. This is a really critical business for us that we plan on being in for decades.
When you look around and talk to folks here, are there any types of product strategies, anything that stands out? I mean, I guess it kind of comes back to that macro sort of higher rate environment, where people at this point, some would argue that you just sit on cash or that you just clip a coupon.
Some are arguing that. I mean, we're starting to hear 60-40 is the right way to go again, and those kind of conversations. But we have seen a movement towards alternatives, which has been pretty large, and so we're working very closely with our partners, Case, iCapital, and making sure we can bring to the market what everybody needs. And we still have that remnant of personalized indexing, which is just barely getting tapped now, so that advisors can actually serve their clients in a very, very customized way.
One of the other things that I feel like doesn't get thought about a lot, especially from my perspective, because I'm always thinking about, okay, the strategies and guests come on, all right, how does that strategy fit into our macro environment or the trading environment? But you also have a priority that your team has been thinking about as asset security and almost like a digital security component too, which I feel like these days we've got all kinds of headlines of companies that are exposed or have had risk. How do you make folks feel comfortable from a digital side, from a security side?
I'm going to answer that question, but I have to address the trading remark you made.
Yeah,
I am thrilled to have ThinkPipes and iRebal as part of our offering now for all of our clients, both the Ameritrade clients who came with it and also now for the Schwab clients. It's always been a superior trading product. I think it's going to ignite a lot more trading within the Schwab advisors as well, and the capabilities, their technical capabilities are fabulous.
Well, the guys over here that came in from Chicago will be very happy to hear that.
They are, I talked to them yesterday, they are a big part of what the future is going to be. I would say on the security front, I can implore advisors, digitization is not about simply saving money and scaling our businesses, their business or our business. It is about security, it is about safety. The enormity of risk that we have every day in the marketplace to very, very well-organized perpetrators, fraudsters, and alike. We've got to get paper out of the system. We've got to get our regulators to come along with that, and we've got to get more direct connectivity with the client, with the advisor, with us, to take those bad actors out of the equation. And so adopting digitization, which I'm really pleased to say, even going through this whole integration on Labor Day weekend, the Ameritrade advisors have greatly embraced it. They've rushed through the door on it. They're outpacing, I think, the adoption rates that we even expected to see, which is fabulous.
Absolutely. Bernie, thanks for the catch-up. Much appreciated.
Yeah. Well,
always love to get the insight and specifics on what I call the lifeblood of the financial economy, really, as advisors at the end of the day. Thanks a lot, Bernie Clark, Head of Advisor Services at Charles Schwab, live here from Impact in Philadelphia.